diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Sobering Saturdays. Man, I've already been on the phone and everything. I'm not really used to doing all that. Yeah, I noticed your profile on our @Be First apparel team. Would love to have you on board as a representative for our fitness and lifestyle brand. Yes, this is real. Yeah. The most weight I lift is my phone. All right. They want me to, promote their stuff. I'm not the best person for that. Now, if they needed somebody for swearing and promoting Coca-Cola, maybe, not really. They didn't really look at my stuff, did they? No, thanks. I'll pass. It's probably not even real the way things go nowadays. Good. Happy Saturday to everybody. I'm going to turn on my number one fan here. I haven't done that joke in a while. I have a lot of followers, but that's my number one fan. All right. It's a fan, an actual fan for those that. Now I got to reset that. Okay, there we go. All right. Man, everybody's been busy today, huh? 3 people on Saturday. Awesome, man. Awesome. It's good to see y'all. Our friend did make it out of detox. He made it home. He made it to a meeting. Progress, man. Progress. I usually meet with a sponsor on Saturday, but he had to cancel. We're just covering parts of the book. We just meet up. I might start adding him to 2 sober dudes, which was not done this week. Not all my stuff kind of didn't get done. So, oh well. It's based off other people's schedules, and sometimes things are a little bit more important than going live. So, just part of life, right? All right, let's get to it today. I don't have much to, I have no valid complaints, as my friend Roger McDermott would say. All right. So you know what time it is? It is time for Dion's Daily Funnies. You ready? Ready? I'm ready. I actually got ready. I even left off where we left off, or I started where we left off yesterday. What's the best way to catch a fly? What's the best way to catch a fly fishing tournament? Live stream. Nice. Morning, Amber. Morning. You're the only person left. Spring is here. I got excited. I almost wet my plants. Pretty exciting. I tell a joke about pizza, but it's kind of cheesy. Yeah. I wouldn't buy anything with Velcro. It's a ripoff. What's an astronaut's favorite part of the computer? The space key. The space key. You know why elevator jokes are so classic and good? Because they work on so many levels. I have to hit the laugh track on the last word of the joke or it doesn't work, just so you know. There aren't real people laughing, just so you know. Why do bees have sticky hair? Because they use honeycombs. They use honeycombs. Welcome, Nick. Good to see you. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. I am your host. It's been a while since somebody said, you need to bring more people on. This isn't a multi-host thing. And I've tried. So I'll bring it up again. If anybody ever wants to join me for the Daily Trudge, just let me know. There you go. All right. Let's move that to chat today. Now, this line is from a Red Hot Chili Peppers song. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away now. Waka, waka, waka. I got to do all that. It's like if the music that I listen to has like weird sounds in it and stuff too. Like Devil Went Down to Georgia. And I do all the, yeah. That's how I warm my voice up. No, but it was already warmed up because I had a pretty long conversation with Pastor Marcia, who's doing well, by the way. I know a couple of you also know Pastor Marcia. A lot of people don't. She's actually pretty integral in a lot of the things that I do, including the grassroots meeting. Yeah. Part of who I am. And it was funny because she's like, and I'm sorry if I kind of compare you to Job and some of the stuff Jesus does. And I told her, all I did was go and look it up and learn a little bit more and become a better person. So God forbid I became a better person. Oh no. Oh no. I take it as a freaking compliment, man. I do. I'm learning on it. I've never read the Bible. Right? Thank God for the big book. Because it's the Bible for dummies. And I'm not calling myself a dummy. It's a joke. Tongue in cheek. All right. So we've got a reading a day at a time. I'm using Hazelden literature today, a day at a time. This is a great book. I love Hazelden literature. A lot of Hazelden literature is about to become AA approved. Seems the archives committee is kind of bored. So, because they're just making stuff up. I'm not going to say anything. The archives committee put out the plain English big book without any vote. No. And have you heard anything about it? No, it flopped, didn't it? It flopped because it didn't use the path that it was supposed to use. And because of that, it will not work. It just won't stick. Okay. Now we're here to give direction, not appeasement. Quit appeasing people. Hey, everybody wants to be lazy, so let's put out a book. All right. Okay. Pick up a darn dictionary. Look the words up. I still do. And I probably had to look them up a couple times. But it helps us make more sense. And I probably should have brought that up at the beginning of this because now we're off topic. So let's get back to the topic. Now it's going to sound weird because it's going to cover the second step, but it gets to it. All right. I came to believe. The program has enabled me, and that's all the second step because that's our line on that, right? I showed up. I came to, which means I started seeing life for what it was, and then I came to believe, which means I found my higher power. That is steps 1, 2, and 3 right there. Yeah. This program has enabled me to learn that deep down in every man, woman, and child is the fundamental idea of God. Yeah. Every single person on this earth is a child of God. And now I've met a lot of famous people. And And there was only one in this whole world where I got nervous talking to them. And that was Ed Kowalczyk from Live, because I just didn't know what to say. I was also very drunk. Yeah. I partied with the Allman Brothers several times. Great guys. The band Allman Brothers. I don't know if it's kind of a fog. Right. I yelled at Simon Cowell once. Yeah. Right. I don't get, okay. What are they? They're children of God. Right? This is all while I was drinking. This was while I was sober. Right. But I have signatures from a lot of bands. Just look behind me, man. That one right there. That's actually Lightning Crash written out. That one, the one I'm pointing at. Yeah. Ed wrote that out. Now the band's all I'm depressed because he started drinking and the band broke up, and they've always been a very spiritual band for me that helped me get through a lot of hard times. So anyway, I'm off topic again. There's never been a time in my life when I did not believe in God. And for me, I would have to say my God's probably closer to a Christian God than it is anything else. Maybe. I don't know. Well, there again, I haven't read the Bible, so how would I know that? What I don't believe in that he is a punishing God. I don't believe that. Mm-mm. Right? Well, what about the wars? What about all the wars and people that have died because of religion? That was self-human will. That was not God. Did God ever stop you from going to the liquor store? Did he stop you from drinking, like physically? No, he didn't, did he? He gave you that choice, did he not? That's the cool thing. It is the choice, right? Anyway, the fundamental idea of God, it may be obscured by pomp, by calamity, by worship of other things, but in some form or other, it is there. For faith in a power greater than ourselves and a miraculous demonstration of the power in human lives are as fact as old as man himself. And this is where the topic comes in. How well do I share my free gifts? So you were given your new life for free if you went through the process that I went through. Maybe it wasn't totally free. Maybe you went to treatment, IOP, things like that. Okay? If you have self-pay insurance, you're paying for it. Even if you have Medicaid, you're in a way your taxes are paying for that, right? But in this case, it was freely given to me. There are parts of my program that were freely given to me, and those are the parts that I will never sell or make somebody jump through a hoop or require anything to receive. Willingness is good enough for me, right? To be able to help another child of God. Okay. And the more I give it away, the more I get to keep. So I give it away a lot. Yeah. I like to do that. I'm at a point in my life where I just want to be the old man sitting behind the desk, handing out wisdom. Seriously, it's what I want. I just want to help people. I'm good at it. I love doing it. All right. Now, I've been seeing this a lot lately. AA saved my life, but I had to leave because of the whatever word they decide to come up with, and they're pretty harsh sometimes. Are you giving it away? It's kind of the key to it. You're not going to be able to keep that unless you're giving it away. Okay. And if something happened to you in AA and it made you leave, I'm sorry. That sucks, man. I'm sorry that happened to you. Yeah. If you are going through that, let me know. I'm happy to help you find a meeting. I'll even go to some with you. They'll have to be Zoom though, because that's what I'm a Zoom boy. All right. Let's read the rest of this and get in more into the 12th step, and not even really the 12th step as much as giving away what we have freely received. I pray that I may continue to look for and find the godliness that is in me and in every other person, no matter how it is obscured. Now, right, there are some people that I know that are in recovery, but they vehemently do not believe in God. And That's okay. I'm not going to, but I still see God working in their lives because their intentions are good. And guess what? That's good enough for me. I don't need to fight that. I don't need to try and make that person believe in something bigger than themselves. I'm not going to try. What I am going to do is be the example. And maybe one day they'll ask. Yeah. Why fight it when I could come into agreement with it? Right? My life's weird. Yesterday, this guy okay, the name of his thing is called "Hold My NA Beer," which I find kind of funny. The clinical part of me finds it unthinking, right? But I kind of got on him about something, and we started talking, and he was just trying to figure something out. Is what it came down to. Now he's going to be on the podcast. We were arguing yesterday. This morning we're like, hey, we can argue and be friends, can't we? Yes, we can. Okay, you want to be on the podcast? I like people that do that. That say, hey, yeah, just because we disagree on this doesn't mean that we can't come together and find a way to help other people out. See, they've got it. They understand something. Yeah. It's cool how that stuff works out. Now I gained another friend. Wow. And he's trying to put stuff out. And I went and looked at some of his other stuff. It's actually pretty good. I knew that was an error. All right, may I be aware that the consciousness of a higher power has been present in man since he was first given the power to reason, no matter what name he gave it or how he sought to reach it. May my own faith in a higher power be reinforced by the experience of all mankind and by the working of God's gracious miracles in my own life. Today, I'll remember God is in us all of us. All right. And this is good news for somebody like me who likes to fight and give my opinion. And I'm still kind of that way. I have to be conscious of it. Right. I was just talking with Pastor Marcia. I was letting her know about the new meeting that we're doing. And when they said, yes, Dion, you can have total control. We trust you. The first thing I did was create a committee to keep me accountable. That was the first thing that needed to happen. Right? Because how can I go around saying that because I have the best of intentions, but that doesn't make me right? I might be missing something. In fact, I know I'm missing something. So we bring other people in so we can make those decisions. Just like I was taught in the 12 by 12. I did what it told me to do. So I followed the directions in the 12 by 12. Actually, I followed the directions of our traditions to set it up. Right. And I've got different people. Some are experienced. Some of them are clinical. Some are in recovery. Some are not. We have a pastor on the team now, too. Pastor Marcia is thinking about it. She's got a lot going on. And I told her I don't expect you to, just so you know. But I'm the kind of person is, okay, for the last 5 years, I've been trying to do something. And it's now coming into fruition. And it's failed and failed and failed. But was it? No, that isn't what was going on. I was learning. It wasn't, I wasn't ready yet. Now God has made the decision. And he's like, yes, this is happening now. We're going to start here. And I'm listening. So he wasn't really saying no the whole time as far as not yet. Okay. But there's no way that I would be able to do this alone. This isn't this meeting isn't the Dion show. No. Right. I'm just glad people are excited about it. That's kind of cool. I talked to my friend Rachel yesterday, And she already knew about the meeting. She's like, did you hear about this new community meeting Mountain West is talking about? I'm like, that's why I'm calling you. That's actually my meeting. It's mine. Mine. See how easy it is to slip into that? It's not my meeting. Actually, but it's not AA. So in a sense, this is my meeting, but it's Trudging Together's meeting. All right. And it says on there, hosted by Trudging Together. Because that name carries weight, because of what God had me going through the last 4 or 5 years. See how that all works out. It always works out. So what did I do during that? I just gave away what I had. God took care of me until everything was ready. I had to have patience. I had to have tolerance. I had to have kindness. I had to have love. But he certainly kept me busy through all of it. All right. Now things are starting to grow. We got a chat going on. We're talking about maybe opening a men's meeting, things like that. I would love to see grassroots having 2-3 meetings a day without me there. If they want to have, if grassroots wants to start a 7 a.m. meeting for everybody, do it. Yeah, I will support you in it. Absolutely. Grassroots is more than just a 5 p.m. meeting. All right. Then we go out. And we grow as a group. And as a group, we give away what we have when the newcomer comes in. Okay. If you come into our group and you ask for help and you actually stick around to the parking lot meeting, we're going to surround you and we're going to love you because we know it's hard for you to do it yourself. Yesterday, 2 people were asking for help. They left before the end of the meeting. We can't help you if you do that. You know, maybe we weren't the right group for them, and that's okay too. Yeah. I also noticed that when we get to a point where people have to start being called on, people start, oh, I'm out of here. Okay. And that's the equivalent of sitting by the front door at an in-person meeting. So I've been having a hankering to go to an in-person meeting. Okay. So okay, we're gonna kind of switch gears a little bit. Give it away now, right? I put give it away now. Because otherwise the title would have been way too long. It wouldn't have fit. Give it away now. Actually, that works so much better. Anyway, all right. What I have been giving isn't meant to be kept. No. What I have been given is meant for me to hold on for a little bit, discover it, and then pass it on. So that's what it's meant to be, right? So when we pass it on, helping others keeps it alive. And it has been passed on for 90 years now. Actually, the concept that we use has been passed on for thousands of years, not just 90. Just 90. Actually, that's a lot. I mean, just 90, right? It's a lot. The concept we are using, okay? But God came along and he said, okay, I'm going to have to write a book for these guys because they ain't getting it. Ain't getting it. See, I believe that AA was divinely inspired. It had to be. You think Bill wanted to really start AA? It's people are like, oh yeah, I'd want to be the founder. You have no idea. We have no idea. We have no idea what goes into that, and it's a lot more than I think I could handle. Right? And Bill needed other people too. Bill wrote the big book. No, he did not. No, he didn't. 100 people wrote the big book. That's the miracle of it, that 100 people could agree on something. Okay. God wrote the big book. It was divinely inspired. But anyway, I'm going to get off my high horse there. All right. So helping others helps keep it alive. This only works if it's shared. If you don't share it, you don't get the benefits of utilizing it. I don't. I haven't. And if I go to AA and get sobered up and start a happy life, but get mad over something and leave and then get mad at AA and I don't pass it on, that's the end of it. Boink. Right there. That's going to be it. And I know because I've been there. Now, I didn't get mad at AA and leave. I just figured I didn't need it anymore. I wasn't angry with AA. In fact, even while I was drinking, I still got some people sober, mostly clean. I would. I'd be in the bar preaching the big book. You can't help it. I'm telling you. And I can laugh at it now, but how that happened, considering I was being very contradictory, maybe they didn't know I was an alcoholic at that point. But then how would I know all that? Right. I have one friend I still talk to her every now and again. Steph. I had never met this person. Right. So I was I worked at it's called Merchant Services, and we were the processor. And she was one of our agents. She worked at an agent's place. And she was trying to get and stay off meth because she was on parole. And so I guided her to some meetings. I supported her each day. Never met her face to face. And then one day I ended up in jail, right? And I'm in work release. And I'm going back for the first day. And the buses are way off. And I'm going to be an hour late. And that cannot happen on my first day. And she picked her up. She picked me up in her Firebird. Never met me before face to face and got me to the bus stop in time. See, those are the benefits. Even while I was drinking, when I was kind to other people, they had my back. See? It's cool stuff. The fact that I even get to be able to is a miracle in and of itself. That I'm capable. Because I wasn't capable before. All right. Now all these things are starting to sprout for me because I've been cultivating for the last 4 or 5 years. I'm starting to understand something. See, I've wanted to build an association for years. In fact, when I brought it up the other day, my friend Rachel's like, yeah, this is like the 4th time, Dion. I'm like, I know, but it wasn't ready. God needed me to build relationships first. Now, after 4 or 5 years of doing all of this, doing it for free, standing up for what is right, the name Trudging Together actually means something in Colorado. Not Dion, Trudging Together. Right? You're a part of Trudging Together. If you listen to me on a regular basis, you are a part of Trudging Together. Doesn't matter that you're not here, right? Although I am finding that it's great that I can come on here and talk to the World Wide Web, but I'm a community guy. And that's why it's happening this way. See, I was going to build a system so that people could utilize it, but I couldn't get on board with certain things. It's not my realm. And that's okay. I even tried to make a video for it. And I was, and it was hard, but I still tried to work through it. Yeah. But my gut is telling me I need to go a different route. Right? Because I think in that case, what would happen is I probably wouldn't feel good about people, buying a $20 workbook for something that they could just go listen to my videos for, honestly. What system is Dion going to be able to make up to see? It doesn't fit. It doesn't work. And it goes against my own morals. So God redirected me. I have to be able to listen. I need to be open-minded, right? So what does the big book says? Well, it says carry the message, share experience, not opinions. We're not here to fix people. We're here to help. I can't fix people. You're going to have to do that yourself. What I will do, though, is walk hand in hand with you. I'll walk along with you. I'll and I'll answer questions. I'll support you, but I can't do the actual work for you. I can barely get mine done. All right. So we carry the message. And what does it look like? talking to someone new, being available and just listening in simple conversations and honest sharing. And then you get to show what works, right? It strengthens your own recovery, keeps you connected, and it gives us purpose. But you don't keep this by holding on to it. All right. All right. We're going to go to the big book here because I already used up the chat GPT. It didn't tell us nothing new. Right. So working with others. And I love what it says on the chapter before in Into Action, the last paragraph in Into Action. But that is not all. There is action and more action. Faith without works is dead. The next chapter is entirely devoted to step 12. It is that important. It is that important that there's a whole chapter on just step 12. None of the other steps got that. So it must mean something. Okay. Now, if you've read Bill's story, you can see all the different ways that he tried to get sober, whether it was self-knowledge, whether it was, all the ways that we do this. But it was when Ebby sat down with him and 12 stepped him that he understood that passing it on to the next alcoholic was what was going to keep him sober. Yeah. So there's a full chapter in here telling you how to approach the alcoholic, how not to approach the alcoholic, when to do it, how to do it, all sorts of ways. I mean, the chapter is what, 89 to 103. It's 25 pages long. That's a lot of information right there. Then teach you how to 12th step the right way. All right. Because I can tell you now, when you work with a wet drunk, your patience is going to be tested. It is. Right. I got help this way. At one point, he and it happened while we were 12 stepping, and so finally I just gave him the business. It was repeating himself, so I had to stop that cycle. So it doesn't go anywhere. So what does it say here? The very first paragraph of working with others: practical experience. Practical. That means it works. Practical means there's proof and it works. Shows that nothing, and that means no other thing, will so much ensure immunity from drinking as intensive work with other alcoholics. Okay. Now it's just not immunity from drinking. It also comes with gratitude, joy, serenity, all sorts of something. All sorts of stuff. It isn't just immunity from drinking, but immunity from a bad freaking attitude. Yeah. If you're in a bad mood, you go help somebody, it's kind of gone. It's over with. Amber says, funny part is too many people don't do step 12, even though it's a full chapter. Yeah. You are not wrong. It's a fear. Well, I don't want to mess with somebody's life. There's your ego thinking that you can. Well, I don't want to sponsor because, then they'll rely on me. Did we not read this? They're not supposed to rely on you. They're supposed to rely on a power greater than themselves. Not you. It's the ego and pride that frustrates people from doing step 12. Okay. What is a good example? I gotta say it, Amber. Who here is willing to sponsor? That is not step 12. No, it's not. I'm glad you're willing. But do you know how much I can be willing about something and still not do it? Pretty willing. I can have a lot. Okay. Been a while since I've heard this. Nobody ever asked me to sponsor them. Let me tell you something. It's been years since somebody's asked me to sponsor them. I'm kind of that way. All right. Not sure why. I try and be approachable. I try. But we've all got, and in a sense, we've all got ways too. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to challenge you to listen to your intuition, that you hear somebody speaking and your tummy's going, hello, hello, and it's a newcomer. They're like, and your tummy's all hello, hello, and it's getting a little excited in there. That is your indication to reach out to that person and say, I will sponsor you. You don't need to throw willing in there. What do we need it for at this point? Okay. But if you're going to sit around on your laurels and wait for other people to ask you to sponsor, then you don't get to whine about it. No, what it say that but this is not all. There is action and more action. Faith without works is dead. Where's your faith? Where's your trust and your courage and your higher power? Where is it? Huh? Ah. If Amber says if they're letting fear stop them, they're not working steps 10 and 11. Well, they didn't work 4 and 5 either. Not thoroughly. They're holding on to something. Yeah. A lot of people say it's their time. Yep. I'm so busy. It's one that drives me nuts. Right. Right. Yeah. Fear. I would agree with it. It's fear. So once again, fear not getting what they want or losing what they have. Yes. Yeah. Got to have that faith, man. Because you got to have faith, the faith, the faith. You got to have faith, the faith, the faith. Baby. It works when other activities fail. Okay? I don't know how many times I say this. I don't feel like anybody listens. Don't bother with the other activities. That's what they're saying there. They're just being nice. All right. This is our 12th suggestion. Carry this message to other alcoholics. Not sit in a meeting and hope that somebody who is willing asks you to sponsor them. Okay. There is no instructions here in here that say sit on your butt and wait for somebody to ask you to sponsor. It's not in here. But in here is 100 different ways to approach the alcoholic. Okay. Oh, well, it's an AA meeting and that's 12 step work, which is, out of detox. Right? No, it's not. It's where God decides it is. Quit making that decision. It's not yours. All right. All right. Gotta tell you right now, you don't do this part, but then just go drink. Go let alcohol convince you then. Right. I know I probably shouldn't say that, but it's true because that's the way you're headed anyway. Right. Either that or you're going to be a dry drunk. Right. You can help when no one else can. There's your why. Because you can help when no one else can. And if that doesn't affect you, if that doesn't give you motivation, then you need to go back and rework your steps. Because you still have an alcoholic mind. Okay. And we kind of talked about this the other day. You've got to stop claiming yourself as a newcomer. Dear Lord. Join the group. Get yourself in the middle of the herd. Okay. You're still going to feel like a newcomer every now and again because we learn new things. That's okay. That doesn't mean you are one. You don't need to stick there. Okay. I find that some people have a problem with step 2 because they don't want to be sane. They're still reveling in their insanity. You can secure their confidence when others fail. Remember, they are very ill. Okay. Then we're going to move on to the 12th step promises, which is where we're going to kind of end up. All right. These are the 12th step promises. Life will take on new meaning. To watch people recover. To see them help others. Okay. This is also where the eyes start to shine. I'll know if you did the work. Because if we talk about step 12, your eyes will start to shine. Yeah. Like mine are right now. Why are my eyes shining? Because I'm standing in the sunlight of the spirit and it's being shown through my eyes. They're the gateway to the soul, are they not? Right? To watch loneliness manage. Now you get to watch. You get to see the beauty of the full forest, even with the ugly. You found out because at one point, those ugly trees just kind of destroyed the whole forest. Then I found out that it was those quote unquote ugly trees that made the forest beautiful. Without it, the forest wouldn't be beautiful. Aha, now we're getting somewhere because they're just as reliant on each other. A forest is reliant, they're all connected. You know that? Yeah, they're connected. You tear down one tree and it affects the other trees. Huh. To see a fellowship grow up about you. Hmm. You know what this fellowship is? It's mostly comprised of your sponsees. Yes, that's where the connection is made. We'll make friends with other people in the program and stuff, but the really tight relationships are usually the sponsee ones. That's my half of my fellowship are my sponsees. Yeah, they all go they all go to the meeting and they always share. They're sharing, yeah. To have a host of friends. This is an experience you must not miss. We know you will not want to miss it. Frequent contact with newcomers and with each other is the bright spot of our lives. All right. Time is it? 102. Dear Lord. All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and keep on trudging.